Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Piofiore 1926, continuing Nicola's route. Kind of just starting chapter 2. We just started chapter 2 at the end of the last part, but kind of at the beginning of it. Anyway, hanging out in the salon after just the funniest fucking thing trying to wake Nicola up. Well, making poor Leo do it, and him getting pummeled, basically. Well, in our imagination. He didn't get pummeled as bad as he normally does, but the imagination part of it was just fun. Welcome, Space. Buongiorno, Julia. Just before Leo left, he came to tell me that you were here. I just baked some Tucci. Would you like to try one? I'd love to. Julia's voice is really off today. Anyway, I was suddenly in the mood for some nice almond biscotti. As I picked it up, I admired the golden brown Tucci with almonds peeking from its side. It's so good. The crunchy texture and savory aroma were divine. Well, now I want to try one and I don't even know what they are. I'm glad you like it. And now have some cafe latte. I gladly took a sip of the sweet cafe latte when suddenly a thought crossed my mind. Say, Julia, do you mind if I ask you something? Yes, what's on your mind, dear? The other day, Bartolo spoke to Nicola about someone named Vittoria. Do you know who that is? Oh! It's his mom. Vittoria was young Nicola's mother. She passed away some time ago. Nicola's mother? Nicola had brought up his mother in conversation once before. Oh! That's CG from the last game, but it's still beautiful. If Dante hadn't been born, I'd be sitting heir to the Falzone family. He's like, stupid Dante! I'm just kidding. And my mother wanted me to be the next boss. I wanted to please her by fulfilling her wish. It's funny because the way he says it is like, if he hadn't been born! But at the same time, I think he loves Dante more than he loves us. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, Nicola is very much, obsessed with his cousin. So, if there was going to be any kind of cousin incest, it'd be between these two. And, again, being in the middle of this man sandwich, I'm okay with it. But, If you're curious to learn more, I believe it'd be best to ask young Nicola. You're right. Thank you, Julia. Julia gave a warm smile and returned to the kitchen. And not long afterward, the person I was waiting for arrived in the salon. Good morning, Nicola. Sorry for the wait, Space. Why are you here? I'm sure I'd never forget making a promise for us to meet. I just happened to be in the neighborhood. I thought you might not be here because of work, but a part of me just wanted to see your face, even if only for a moment. Space. Nicholas smiled when suddenly another familiar face appeared in the salon. Dante? They come as a pair! I'm just saying, I'm not opposed to this. I'm absolutely 100% okay with dating the pair of them. Right? Oh, there you are, Nicola. You were here too. You sound disappointed, like you wanted some alone time with Nicola? Dante? Really? Didn't you get enough alone time with my other boyfriend? Just saying. Dante couldn't hide his surprise upon seeing me. Welcome back, Dante. I assume the deal went well? Yes, there were no issues, though there's something that I need to tell you. I got it. Let's talk in your office. I'll be there soon. Dante nodded and left the salon. I'm sorry our time together was so short. Are you heading back or will you be staying a while longer? I should get going since I only stopped by in the middle of errands. And then let me get a car ready for you. It's alright, I can walk back. Really? Sorry I can't escort you. Don't worry, Nicola. You don't need to apologize. I appreciate your thoughtfulness, but I know how busy you are now. And also, I stopped by, unexpectedly. You don't have to cater to me. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, just wanted to see your pretty face. Boop him on the nose and then leave, Basically. I know you just told me, but sorry again. I should remember that you're capable of handling yourself. Well, you know, you taught me how to use guns, and I'm pretty good with knives, I guess, after being friends with Orla. Am I? No, not at all. But, like, we should be at this point. I'm just saying. Kind of want us to be a, like, mini ninja assassin. Even if we're not really good at assassinating people, you're gonna, like, you know what? You hurt me, and I just stab you with my tiny little sticky fork thing that I got. Like, you're like, beep, ow. Even if it hurts, it hurt. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? Instead of just fucking always being a damsel in distress. I just feel like when we're dating the mafia, we should know some shit. Okay. He chuckled to himself, then gave me a gentle goodbye kiss on the forehead. Ooh. I saw a space at the entrance before heading to Dante's office. Sorry for the wait, Dante. So, what is it? Dante quietly handed me a newspaper. What? La Gazzetta. Governor Ernesto De Feo declares war against the mafia! Bold announcement of making the mafia pay for their deeds! I think we need to kill somebody. I think we need to kill Roberto's fucking dad, uncle, cousin, brother, whoever he is. I see. I'm assuming he wishes to emulate the Iron Prefect. Iron Prefect, a nickname for... Cesare? Cesare More? You say Cesare? If it was Italian? I don't know, anyway. Caesar. If you're not... You're fucking super American or whatever, but I know that's not how you would pronounce it in Italian. But anyway. Given in response to his iron-fisted campaigns against the mafia. Sorry, I didn't totally read that in Burkhardt Spacey voice. And then in the worst-case scenario, this town will follow in Sicily's footsteps. And this is going to be troublesome. Yeah, you're going to have to go underground. Pretend to be legit, decent citizens. It's going to be hard. As I walked along the main street in Arca, a car suddenly stopped in front of me. The door opened to reveal... I was going to say Gil. Yeah. Gil! Hey, Signorina. It's been a while. You're looking lovelier than ever. Has Nicola been treating you well? Yes, I'd like to think so. He's like, because if not, I'm just saying, whoa. Dante would keep him in line. And then, secretly, I'm having a side affair with your fucking lawyer. Trust me, Gil. As much as I love Dante and Nicola, I kind of want to be at the Visconti Manor just for Oliver. But then also going to the casino a lot for Due Torre. Also Henry, but like, I just like it when he's wearing the wig and the mask. I'm just into it. Listen, I don't work my way around the town, okay? I'm the town bicycle at this point. But only for certain mafia members. I'm the mafia bicycle, okay? Basically, everyone in the mafia can have a ride. Not everyone, but you know what I mean. Bosses, underbosses, lawyers, that kind of thing. It's kind of true, though, if you think about it. But anyway. Gil and I often spotted each other in town, but it had been a while since I spoke to him face to face. Glad to hear it. That said, I'm sure he's had his hands full lately. Things are really starting to pile up for us. We're fine for now. Well, we're fine here for now, but it's gotten real bad in Sicily. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, you hear? Fortunately, there are scumbags who'd come after the underboss's lover in these times. Yes, I understand. Grazie, Gil. Is it really much more dangerous than before? Well, let's just say my eyes are peeled for anything that'll upset the town's peace. If the foul zone takes a hit, we'll get knocked back too. Things finally calmed down some with the loud shoot dead and gone. I don't want all that effort to go to waste, is all. Sorry. You really like Berlone, don't you, Gil? Yeah? Besides, you and I are friends, right? I'm always looking out for you, whether it's about this or your love life, even. Gil, oh my god, are we gonna sit down and be like, okay, so, like, the other day, like, are we gonna have, like, girl chats with Gil? Because, like, I'm also here for that as, like, a side story. I kind of want to see that little side thing where we're just sitting there and he's just sitting there with his hand on his chin, like, you know, keep going, girl. I can't believe he said that either, sweetie. Like, throw a couple snaps in there. Like, I'm just, right? I want to have, like, girl talk time with Gil. Like, you're imagining this right now and I just can't stop. Anyway. I'm always looking out for you, whether it's about this or your love life even. Okay, yeah. Well, I remembered how he had helped me last year. Not to mention, I see Nicola as a friend too. I'm worried about him and his guys. That's very kind of you, Gil. I mean, seriously, Gil just charms you so fucking easy. Again, it's not that I didn't like Gil, but he wasn't at the top of my list. Handsome as shit. The suit is sexy as fuck. You know, but I mean, it was like, again, my eyeballs, it was like, nah, I'm going, he's got the look is like the type of guy that I'm not, like the bro dude, the kind of guy, like, I'm not really into those ones. Even though their characters are always charming, they always win you over. They always win you over. Where you're like, I mean, alright, you can go in the manor because you're just and Gil is one of those characters where you're like, you know, that's why I give him the impy voice, right? Because, like, it's the character. There's just something about him. I mean, obviously, but, like, but there's just something about him that just stirs, like, that's the voice that you should have. And, like, I would say at least half the time, they come out of fucking nowhere, and you're like, you're just too charming to leave behind. You can come to the man, Aaron. But, like, I don't expect that, like, just based off my first impression looking, that I'm like, I'm not gonna love you as much as I, but, like, no, Gil's one of those characters. You're like, no, I love you. I do. And he just always charms you. Even now, you're like, look at you, you're trying to charm the pants off me. It's working. Stop it. What happened? Also, you have Oliver at your house. Into that. Gil responded with a broad smile, then got back into his car. Poke my head in the window. Hey, Oliver! Because you know Oliver's in there. I finally arrived at the church just before sunset. Meanwhile, story. Ooh, talks too. Ooh. Oh! Yay!
I'm very pleased to hear from you. Yes. Your reputation precedes you, Senor Ghirlandaio.
Right, I totally fucking forgot about Raul! I forgot about fucking Raul. Oh my god, how could I have fucking forgotten? I was like, we're not gonna see what's-his-face, Yuan. We're not gonna see him because, like, the Lao Shu's dead, so whatever. And I was like, who the fuck's gonna be... I cannot believe I fucking forgot about Nicola 2.0. Okay? Seriously. Seriously. It was kind of obvious the second he rolled up. You're like, you look like Nicola. Are you related to them? Yes. I cannot fucking believe that I forgot this bitch existed. Oh, God, this is awesome. Anyway.
You're precisely who we need.
Happy. I forgot about this bitch. He really does fucking look like Nicola. Like, just like with gold eyes. But I mean, I'm serious. You're like, if you saw him somewhere else, you'd be like, what? Who drew Nicola weird? Like, it's... Anyway. What was his voice? Son of a bitch! I forget his voice. I feel like Nicola, Teo, and fucking Raul all have the same fucking voice. God damn. I don't remember. I can't... Shit. I feel bad not remembering any of the fucking voices for the side characters, but let's be real. It's been a month since I played, and the side characters are kind of new to us, so... Although... I don't think Raul was in Yang's route. That's probably why I forgot about him, so it's been like a long-ass time since we've seen him. Was he? Was he in Yang's route? No, I can't remember. Anyway. What an honor. I never expected my name to be known in such a far-flung place. Although I'll not deny that my support is a boon, unlike anything else. I must say, despite our introduction, are you not just another bureaucrat? I see no obvious benefit to me.
Perhaps I might trade some knowledge.
I'm listening.
Ah, yes. I do have some information that will please your associate, Senor Ghirlandaio. For example, I'm quite involved in the Burlone Mafia's dealings. Very much so.
Henry, are you fucking selling us down the river?
How about it? Have I piqued your interest?
I feel like you know exactly what piques people's interest. What proof have you to validate this information?
It was futile to determine its validity. Even liars could conjure up reasonable evidence.
I admittedly have my doubts that a mere casino manager could stand against the mafia.
You're correct, which is why I'm in need of your assistance, Signor Gerlandio.
Are you asking me to lend you an army?
Not at all. I have sufficient manpower.
And then what is it? What do you need from me?
All I ask is that you destroy them.
May I ask you something?
How fond you are of questions, Signor. Please, feel free.
I believe that your network of information is reasonably reliable. I ask again because it was he who introduced us. It can't be fucking Emilio. With your motive still hidden, I trust you understand my caution. Why are you asking me to destroy them? Is there something you yourself will gain with the Burlone Mafia's demise? Are you trying to take me away, Henry?
And this town is challenging, in a sense. I'll be able to move freely once those who control this town are removed.
I just absolutely kind of love how all of our boyfriends are just at odds with each other. And then they kind of become friends, but they're all just like, there is always one of them that's just a shady bitch to the other. And I just love it. So good. Really does make being the Mafia Town bicycle, like, complicated. You're like, listen, I don't want to know. Look, you know that I'm also dating Gil and Nicola and Dante, Henry. Okay, so you just keep your freaking animosities to yourselves, all right? I'm not here for that. Also, and you're like, I'm still a little bit mad at you that you killed Yang, okay? But, like, obviously in the perfect world, none of them are dead, because that just sucks, but... I see. It's a matter of money. Very well, I'll gladly offer you my support. I look forward to hearing this knowledge.
Thank you very much, Signor Gerlandio.
I know I spelled his name wrong, said his name wrong, but like, whatever. Look! Never gonna get better, okay? I finally arrived at the church just before sun's... Oh, right, I'm sorry, I forgot we had another fucking side story, so just read that line 32 times. Ooh. Another meeting canceled. And today's client was someone who had worked with the Falzone for a long time. Been happening with greater frequency. Even considering the current climate, there's still something amiss. Do you think... Are you getting word from these people that the meetings have been canceled? Or are you getting the information from Direttore? Is he fucking puppeteering shit? I'm just curious, because I saw a shadow out of the corner of my eye. Perhaps I've been too distracted by my own thoughts to notice his approach. Spacey mentioned a young man in black claiming to be a priest. Could you be Teo by any chance? Or correct Nicola Francesca? I can't forget Teo's fucking voice now too anyway. I heard you've been bothering my girl with unnecessary trouble. If anything is unnecessary, it's what you're doing. His mocking smile bore a hint of restrained contempt. You've not taught the Key Maiden of her true role. In fact, you've actively sabotaged the Keepers of the Grave's mission. What do you mean? Uh-oh. And I'm just throwing this out there. If it wasn't Nicola's route, I would fully expect Teo to fucking stab Nicola and he would die. I don't know why Nicola's the easiest character to kill in this whole fucking game. Seriously! 3/4 of the route so far, he's dead. Hello? I finally arrived at the church just before sunset. We don't have to read that again, don't worry. Elena should be in the kitchen now, preparing for dinner. Rather than go back to my room, I went to the kitchen to lend her a hand. The end. The clock showed my usual waking time. What should I do today? It was the morning of my day off. I did have plans in the afternoon, but nothing in particular scheduled before then. Maybe I'll head down to the library. I climbed out of bed to get dressed and ready to leave. There was an unusual commotion in the plaza. Is there a fight? I looked past the crowd when suddenly I gasped at the sight before my eyes. A police officer was grabbing the arm of someone I knew well. Nicola? Leo, no! Oh no, that's worse! Leave him alone! Nicola can handle it. Like, hey, let me go. I told you already, I didn't do anything. Shut up, save it for the station. The policeman continued to pull him along without hearing him out. Leo, arrested? Hey, what'd that guy do? I heard him yelling about someone punching him, I think. So a fight. Yes, and then the officer came by and placed him under arrest. Wait. So someone punched Leo, so you arrest Leo? That makes sense. I left the crowd as quickly as possible. I need to let them know. Hey, Space. Are you here to see the underboss or the lady of the house? They were jokingly referring to Julia. It was a nickname they gave her in jest, but it was also born from respect from her. No, I don't have time to joke right now. Leo was arrested at the plaza. The police have taken him to the station. Again? Again? Despite my agitation, the man didn't look surprised at all by the terrible news. Perhaps the Falzone family had seen a number of their members being arrested recently. Thanks for letting us know. We'll take care of it. I'll let Nicola know you came by, too. Will you be heading back to the church? Yes. I couldn't imagine sitting still at the library now of all times. Then let me get the car. I'll drive you. Oh, don't worry. I can walk back. Nope, not this time. I don't want the underboss to rim me a new one for making you walk back. Well, if you say so. Uh-oh, we're getting kidnapped. Partner. I'm like... Gil. I don't know why Oliver gets me so excited. I have no idea what happened. Like, look, I know that I loved Oliver in the first game, like, obviously, but it's like, oh, Oliver, he's great, whatever. But there is just something about this that has just made me really fucking love Oliver 10 times harder than I ever did before. I mean, I'm gonna put it this way. I loved Oliver because I have a fucking acrylic stand of Oliver that I found when I bought the other character. I'm just gonna say something and it's gonna offend so many people. And even I am like, I don't kind of understand this. I did not get an acrylic stand of Gil. Or Orlok. But, like, Orlok isn't my favorite. I have one of freaking Henry as Giratore. And I have Nicola and Dante. I actually have 2 different ones of them. You know? And I have Yang floating around. And I got freaking Oliver and Leo. Because Leo's just the best little side character. He's my best friend, okay? But, like, I didn't get Gil. I looked around my house and I'm like, no, I didn't. That's weird, because, like, even though, like, Gil isn't, like, he's above Orlok, obviously, but I'm like, but I think after playing the first game, I was like, okay, no, Dante and Nicola and Yang and Henry obviously are my favorites, and, like, whatever. But, and I know it's gonna make some people mad, because I do love Gil, actually, so even I'm like, huh, weird. Because, like, I think I have a better appreciation for Gil, like, after playing this game, and it's like, that's why I'm like, huh, I must have just, even though I know, like, I enjoyed Gil's route, it was like, you know, you gotta rank him and, like, whatever. And now I'm like, no, I'm just hoarding him in the man harem now. But that has to tell you how much I love fucking Oliver, like, and after playing this game, and the freaking Orlok and Gil's routes, it's like, he was really, like, the fucking best. He was the MVP of both of those routes, even though he's just a side piece. I just don't know. Like, so now if the choice was, okay, get, like, merch for Oliver, or get... I would absolutely be doing it for Oliver. Okay, I love him so much. Like... Besides, okay, like, when you get the stuff, you get the stickers and stuff for the game, or the cards for the game. Yeah, he's got tons of Gil shit. But there's no Oliver stuff, so the fact that there was an acrylic stand of fucking Oliver, who's sitting on my shelf staring at me, giving me this exact same fucking sassy look, but smaller. Like, you know. Love him so much. I kind of forget Oliver's voice, too. Another Falzone was arrested at the plaza in Arca. It seems he was involved in an altercation. And cops sure are getting ballsy, aren't they? Guess the Mafia's days here are numbered. I like this town. With the loud shoot gone, we were supposed to finally have a moment of peace. But now the government was on our backs, itching to stamp us out once and for all. Guess we better get on our Chicago plans. I know I'm asking a lot of you, Oliver, but You've not once refrained from asking too much of me. As such, there's no point in attempting an apology. All I ask is that you continue as you always have. If you have the time to gripe, you should go outside and make new connections. In the meantime, I'll handle the rest. You're a real buddy, you know that? You always know what to say. He really fucking does, and he also likes to feed children. Eat up! Have potatoes! Can't have a fucking potato without laughing and thinking of Oliver. Goddamn love Oliver. He's so precious! Side characters really are great in this, aren't they? Well, if you say so. Of course, it's my pleasure. I decided to accept his offer to give me a ride back to the church. Back at the church, I spent time playing with the children until evening. The time had come to say goodbye.
Good luck, Renato! Come back and play with us again, okay? Yep, thanks, everyone!
Tears welled up in Renato's eyes as he picked up the bag full of gifts prepared by the other children. Today was the day he'd be leaving the church to go back home.
Sis, thanks a lot for everything. I'm gonna miss everyone, but I'll come by and see you all again.
Yes, we'll be waiting for you. I gave him the batch of sweets that Sister Sophia and I had made for him and saw him off. And we have no idea who this Renato kid is or why the fuck he was there and why the fuck he's going back home, and it's just like, I guess he was staying with us temporarily for some fucking reason and he's going, and I'm like, no, but it's like, we have to say goodbye to this child. Am I supposed to feel moved by this? I have no idea who this fucking kid is. Like, children returned inside, a bit quieter than usual. I remained outside in the garden, reminiscing about the memories I shared with Renato, despite the fact that we have no idea who this kid is. My eyes began to burn as my vision grew blurry. Noticing the young man standing beside me, I hurriedly wiped the tears from my eyes like this bitch just sneaks up on you. What brings you here today? Is there something... And didn't your parents come for you too? No, I was taken in by the church when I was a baby. I never knew my parents. Since I haven't heard from them all these years, I doubt they would take me home now. Also, they might be dead, and that's why you're in an orphanage. But it doesn't matter anymore, because this is my home. So is there something you need, Teo? I came here because I wanted to speak with you. Have you asked the Falzone family about the Key Maiden? Did they tell you anything? Well, I wondered whether I should tell him the truth. Given my feelings at the moment, I felt no pressing reason to lie to him. Yes, they told me everything. I'm glad to know about it now. Thank you, Teo. Why are you thanking me? I would never have known about it if you hadn't told me in the first place. At the same time, I still think of myself as an ordinary girl. There isn't anything special about me. You are special, no doubt. Someone may take advantage if you don't accept that as fact. I would even say you shouldn't trust the Falzone. What do you mean? In the past, they maintained a strong relationship with the church. That is, until they fell into a life of crime. Which is funny because I'm pretty sure, like, I'm gonna guess Emilio's fucking dead. Because, like, why is Teo here? Where's Emilio? I can't believe we're going to have a route where we can't scream for Emilio. This is just offensive to me right now. Like, I know it took me a while to fucking figure that and realize, but, like, he just pops in randomly. But, like, where the fuck is he? If Teo's here, it means Emilio's dead, and I'm concerned. We're chained up somewhere in a basement, possibly. I know we should be happy for Emilio because then he's free of his bonds in this earthly realm and not having to be 300 years old in like a 10-year-old body. But like, I'm just saying, like, just going to be born again. So get over it. But like, you know, and again, I'm pretty sure they've been into crime for a while and I don't think the church gives a shit, oddly enough. So be forewarned that they're only treating you well because of your value to the church. I suggest that you watch out for yourself. I suggest you shut your fucking face because I trust them more than I trust you, which is saying something. I trust the mafia more than I trust the church. Yeah, no, sounds about right. I couldn't agree with what he just said, but I could tell he was worried about me. Yeah, I think he's full of shit, girl. What we've seen of him in other routes, I don't trust him at all. Thank you for your kindness. I'm not sure how to take this all in, but I'll do my best to be aware of everything surrounding my situation. I wouldn't want to unknowingly involve anyone else in trouble because of me. I want to avoid that at all costs. Teo fell silent, then abruptly turned on his heel. Uh, my voice escaped me before I realized it. Will you come back again? I will stop by when I have a chance. If you need to discuss anything, we can do it then. And with that, he walked away. I just feel like, you're like, okay, thanks for worrying. Any normal fucking person, this stranger comes up and is like, you shouldn't trust the man that you're sleeping with. You're like, excuse me? Even if they're telling you the truth, you're going to trust the person you're boning. And then when you find out that they've been a lying sack of shit, then you're going to be like, damn it, I should have trusted Taylor. You know what I mean? But like, random stranger person you've been dating for a year. I'm just saying. You know, unless you've always had a weird feeling and then a random stranger comes up and tells you shit and you're like, see, I've always kind of felt that there was some weird shit going on, but we're not doubting Nicola in any way, shape, or form. So Teo showing up and saying shit is like, nah, bitch. It'd be unwise to believe everything he told me, but yeah, he didn't seem like a bad person at all. Seem! Keyword. As I finished my nightly prayer, I heard an unexpected knock on the door.
Space, are you still awake?
I was like, didn't we have plans today? Right, just to see Renato off, this random kid that we have no idea, but we're going to cry over. Like, I get it. It was just like to kind of like lead up to that scene or whatever, but it's still like, I don't know who this kid is. Is something the matter, Sister Sophia? Did that fucking Orlock kid punch you again? I'm just kidding.
Signor Francesca is here to see you.
At this hour?
Yes, it seems he has something urgent to discuss.
Is it about Leo? Feeling somewhat uneasy, I put on my robe and followed Sister Sophia outside.
You may talk outside.
Just kidding. Nicola. The moment Nicola laid eyes on me, he wasted no time in explaining. I'm sorry to bother you at this hour, Signorina. This may be sudden, but I'd like you to stay with us at the Falzone Manor. I was taken aback by the sudden request. Sister Sophia must have already spoken with him, since she appeared as calm as always. I was told that you came to the manor today to inform us about what happened to Leo. Recently, many of our men have been arrested, all on misdemeanors that the police wouldn't have acted upon before. Most of them on false charges. I spoke with Leo and he's positive that he did nothing to warrant the arrest. Apparently someone bumped into him and made a commotion about having been attacked. I knew Leo wasn't the kind of person to start a fight. I mean, seriously. I just assumed it was some sort of misunderstanding. Yes. What's worse is that the police have been targeting our members' families as well. Huh? What do you mean? They've detained their families to force our men to confess to false allegations. The police would do something like that? Did you meet Roberto? Because yes. Marco wouldn't have, but Roberto, absolutely. Apparently on orders of the newly appointed mayor, he's been known to use aggressive means. I think we should get aggressive back, don't you? Bomb in his office or some shit? Horse head in his bed? I don't know, I'm just... Of course we have no intention of letting them have their way. We've already made arrangements for our members' families to leave town for the time being. That being said... Space, you're my lover. And I may not be as well known as Dante, but the police know me, and they know my position in the family. Which is why they may be targeting you so that they can use you as bait to arrest me as the Falzone's underboss. Gil did warn us. What Gil said before returned to mind. Unfortunately, there are scumbags who'd come after the underboss's lover in these times.
I've spoken with Signor Francesca and agreed it's for the best that you accept this request.
I see. I nodded in response, then looked at Nicola. Thank you, Nicola. If you don't mind, I'd like to stay at the Falzone Manor until things settle down. I'm very relieved to hear that. In that case, shall we get going? Can I fucking put on a bra? Like, yes, let me get ready. I was like, can I get my fucking clothes and shit? Like, do I have to come out in my nightgown? Family. Ayo. No, I was taken in by the church when I was a baby. Never knew my parents. Since I haven't heard from them all these years, I doubt they'd take me home now. Oh, he's gonna wrangle up some people to pretend to be our parents! But it doesn't matter anymore, because this is my home. A happy home with your new family, huh? And don't make me laugh. I'm not as strong as you think. Like I believe you after seeing that lonely face of yours. She probably wasn't lying about considering the church her home, but she couldn't hide that she still longed for her real family. For some reason, the thought irritated me. Interesting. He's very angry at me. Angry little muffin. Yes, South Pole muffin. Yes, let me get ready.
Please do take care of her, Signor Francesca.
Sister Sophia's voice was filled with earnest. Feel free to make yourself at home here. He led me to a very familiar room. It was the same room I stayed in when I visited overnight. I was thinking of having you stay at my place, but the security here is better. I just have to make my peace with that. His joking manner put me at ease again. You're safe here, and the police would be mad to dare test their luck by breaking in. I agree. Thank you, Nicola. It felt like Nicola was trying to stay cheerful for my sake. At the same time, I wondered how long I'd need to stay here with the Falzone. The situation was similar to last year when I had little idea of when things would be resolved. Oh, Nicholas saved me back then too. He brought me here for my protection once again. I'll explain the situation in more detail tomorrow. Both Dante and I have to go out in the morning, but we'll be back by evening. So we can have dinner together? Absolutely. And even though I'll be out most of the day, let me know if you need anything. I'll do what I can to make time for you. And the last thing I want is for you to feel uneasy here. Thank you, Nicola. I'd feel better if Leo was here! Because he was my bestie! Someone took my dog to the pound. I was reminded of something I needed to let him know about. By the way, Teo came to see me again. He seemed to be worried about my situation. I relayed the conversation I had with Teo. Nicola's smile was replaced by a frown as he listened to me carefully. I see. I'm just glad nothing bad happened to you. His expression was lined with worry. It almost seemed as though Nicholas saw things more gravely than I did. At the same time, I wondered, would he just be tired or under stress? He's been kept busy for so long. No, girl, I feel like you should, not... you're too trusting. You've been dating the Mafia for a year. You'd think you'd be, a little less trusting of everyone. I mean, I guess that's sad if you're like, I'm just really trusting and I think everyone is amazing and awesome, and then you start dating someone that makes you start being like, you know what? People kind of suck. I mean, if you're naive enough to think the world is all sunshine and rainbows, it's kind of better to stay that way. You know what I mean? Because it kind of sucks when you realize that the world is not sunshine and rainbows and unicorns at all, ever. You know what I mean? So it's almost better to be slightly naive like that. But at the same time, realistic. It's okay to be like, you know what? I believe there's good in people. I don't know. I feel like Teo is a shady son of a bitch, but maybe he does care in his own weird, shady way. Sure. Positive spin on it, but I don't know. I just don't feel like you should trust him over Nicola, you know? I just don't. Even though, Nicola would probably absolutely lock you in a room and never let you out. We've seen that happen, but I still just trust him more than Teo, okay? Listen, I've seen them both do some shady shit, but Teo just hates us. I don't even know why. Space. After some thought, I said, please rest well tonight. Can you stay here with me? Stay here with me. This is not the right answer. I'm gonna fucking throw hands. Oh my god, bitch, what the fuck? Stay here with me! You know he wants to. Dumbass. Please rest well tonight, Nicola. Good night. He's like, oh, okay. I wish I could spend more time with you, but I'm sure you're tired too, so maybe tomorrow. Or because if we asked him to stay, he'd be like, I can't, and now I feel guilty. Thanks! Maybe you shouldn't be such a dick about it, Nicola. I'm just kidding. And with that, Nicola gave me a kiss on the forehead as usual. Not even a kiss on the lips. I like forehead kisses, though. They're very sweet. And you're like, no. Kind of want to giggle at them. Just saying. Good night, Signorina. We can talk again once he's well rested and we have more time to ourselves. I knew there were a lot of things he couldn't tell me, but maybe I could help lighten his load. I still just want to be like, stay with me, even if it's like I can't. And you're like, it's okay, don't feel bad about it. But I want you to stay with me. You know what I mean? The following night, Dante and Nicola returned to the manor before dinner as promised. The evening began with friendly conversation. Yay! Oh, we're not going to have conversation in the middle of our man sandwich, all right. But as Dolce was being served, Dante's tone grew more serious in nature. I know this was all sudden, imposing limits on your movements like this, but please make yourself at home here for the time being. Thank you, Dante. Nicola told me about the situation yesterday, and how your men are being wrongfully arrested. Some townsfolk have been running into them on the streets, accusing them of starting a fight, petty theft, what have you. And the police somehow always manage to be nearby to arrest them on the spot. And that means odds are highly likely that the police are orchestrating. Wow, ostracizing? No, orchestrating. I can't with words, apparently. Anyway, that the police are orchestrating these events themselves. I was thinking that they're ostracizing our people, but like, that doesn't make, I mean, it makes sense, but it's also not exactly, you know what I mean? Like, yes, they kind of are, but that didn't make sense in like our exact conversation. They were also taking entire families hostage. I was shocked that the police, who were supposed to uphold the law, would resort to such underhanded means. How dare they resort to mafia hands? Like, underhanded mafia means. That's our job. Like, taking my job from me? No. And Marco wouldn't be tolerating that, but he's dead, so. Aw. Something similar happened. Something similar! Good fuck. Something similar happened last year with the mystery killings, but that was an exception. When there were quarrels in town before, the police would overlook them more often than not. Last year, one of the top brass was arrested in the chaos that ensued following the killings. Of course, we have no intention of leaving our men behind bars. We're taking action now to have them released. Is that part of the reason why you've been so busy lately? Yeah, that's right. The series of arrests due to worsening relations with the authorities is part of it, but it's not the only reason. Oh, it's not the only reason Nicola's busy. Dante, she should be aware of the current situation. And to be honest, the Falzone family business has been on the decline. Huh? Do you remember when we told you we were vetting new clients? We've also been losing those we've worked with for years. They've been canceling our meetings for various reasons, and politely refusing any dinner invitations. Thanks to Nicola's power of persuasion, he's somehow managed to hold on to a number of ongoing deals, but I'm just trying to, like, what are you doing? Are you doing them favors? Damn it! I'm the mafia bicycle, not you, Nicola! Keep it in your pants. And these are the times we live in, and there are more and more businesses who feel it's safer to distance themselves from the mafia. I mean, I get that. They responded, "The situation is really bleak. Thank you for telling me this." I feel like saying, the situation's really bleak, because that's like contributing to the conversation, even though you're stating the obvious. But thank you for telling me is almost dismissive, like, okay, thanks. It's like when someone's like, I love you, and you're like, okay, thanks. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, not interested. You know what I mean? I feel like she's going to say, thank you for telling me this. And it's going to be more like, well, thank you. I appreciate you letting me in on what's happening because I know it's not my business type of a thing. But the sentence itself just seems so fucking dismissive, but I have a feeling that's probably, yeah. Oh, you! Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me. Like, she feels like a broken record in this route. Like, with the, oh, you! And then the thanking everyone for everything. It's like, girl, I'm gonna need you to get a little bit more of a personality. She's kind of like a wet napkin here. Look, I understand her being kind of a wet napkin and because she's a good little church girl, so she's like, you know. But I just feel like in other ones, like, it wasn't as bothersome, but there's something about this one I'm just like, can we just stop with the thanking everyone's doing? Like, you're just, I don't know, I think it's the choices that they made with the game being, instead of being like, no, stay with me or whatever, it's like, okay, thanks. Okay, you, rest well. And it's like, are you in love with this man or not? Like, I don't know. It's just weird, the choices that they're giving. It's not really, it's the way they're writing her in this one, or the choices that we have. They just don't seem, I don't know. It's not living up to my expectations at this point. Like, you're like, are you, you know, I don't know. Thank you for telling me this. You know what it is? She says thank you too goddamn much, and it's kind of annoying. And oh, you. We haven't said that in a while, but it's a thank you. Thank you for your concern. Thank you for telling me this. Thank you for blinking at me. Thank you for that. Like, I'm gonna need you to stop. It's weird. Like, you know what I mean? It just feels, we're not contributing to the conversation. We're just nodding and thanking people all the time. It's weird. I don't know. Nicola, you didn't want to mention anything because you were afraid I'd worry, right? Okay, and like, again, this is what I said, like, I'm sure it's going to be like, oh, it's not really my business, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, again, I still just don't feel like we're part of the conversation. We're just like, okay, thanks. Like, I don't know. And it would worry me more to not know what was happening, so I'm glad you shared it with me. He sighed with a chuckle of self-contempt. I kept it hidden for you for your sake, and for mine as well. What do you mean? How can a man admit so readily that his job was wearing him down like this? It was something I wanted to keep secret from my lover. It was cute to see him pouting like this. Suddenly, one of the men came into the salon. Nicola, you have a guest? Let him in. He spoke with no surprise, as though he were expecting a guest. The man departed, and shortly afterward, a familiar figure walked in through the doorway. Not Emilio. There's a part of me that was like, I hope it's Emilio. It's not. I feel like Emilio's dead in this route. Is he? Look, by the time someone tells me in the comments, we'll be in fucking Dante's route. So, like, by the time these post, like, it'll be too late. Because, like, you know, trying to get ahead, so busting my ass here, trying to, like, not be like, only a week ahead, trying to get back to our, like, 3 to 4 weeks ahead, so that, like, you know, I have some breathing room, and I'm not like, I have to record 18 things in the next 3 days! That's not how bad it is, but we're getting there, you know? Like, anyway. Orlok! I have some information for you. Kind of forgot Orlok was here in this route, too. He glanced at me briefly. Well, I should go back to my room. No, I want you to stay. Really? I asked Orlok to dig into what was happening with the police. And you're already indirectly involved, so it's best for you to be in the know as well. Sorry, I read that weird. I must say that I agree. And given current events, I'd say the situation demands it. Thank you both. And now then, Orlok, if you please. If you would please. I read that weird too. Can't read today. Orlok nodded slightly, but for some reason he appeared slightly reluctant. Slightly. Orlok slightly nodded slightly, but slightly for some slightly reason he appeared slightly reluctant slightly. Usually how I talk and I repeat the same word over and over, and you're like, Jesus. Wonder if it's because Dante's here. Do the two of them meet often? Members of the Visconti family are being arrested in a similar manner. But compared to the Falzone family, the number of arrests have been minimal. And so they're targeting us specifically after all. Nicola didn't seem surprised in the least. From his reactions, it seemed he was only confirming his hunches. And the police are not acting on orders from local leadership. It appears they're being given directives from higher up. Higher up? From Ernesto De Feo of the Fascist Party, the new governor of Puglia. The new governor? Is Roberto still alive in this route? You know what I mean? Because I feel like... Okay. You know what would be interesting here? Because we know he's related to Roberto. I'm pretty sure they gave us... I mean, aside from the same last name, they gave us the kind of clue... like in one of the other routes, it was like, oh, isn't he here? And he's like, and then but they didn't tell you what, but they gave you like kind of like the little like, just so you would make the connection if you couldn't with the last name. You know what I mean? Because like, listen, the chances of a person having the same last name as you and not being related to you in real life is, you know, out there, right? But like in a game, what are the chances they would give two characters the same last name and be, well, they're not related? Because that's just stupid. There's not that many characters in a game. You could give them a unique last name. So, them having the same last name makes it obvious they're somehow related. But they also pointed it out in one other route. Like, oh, hey, blah, oh, but we don't know how, right? But in Nicola's original route, again, I'm pretty fucking sure it was Nicola's route because I remember Roberto being like, so fucking... had such a hard-on for hating Nicola, and I'm pretty sure that's the route that he kidnapped us and tried to get Frisky, right? Okay, that's where you were like, Roberto, what the fuck? Because he really hated Nicola, right? Like, really hated him. So that was like this whole animosity. So it's kind of like, it would make sense if Roberto's dead, that like his uncle, father, cousin, brother, whoever the fuck Ernesto is like specifically targeting the Falzone family because they're responsible for Roberto's death. But if it's like your nephew, I feel like it'd be like, it almost feels like, is that your dad? Because I feel like then your dad would be really pissed more than like, I mean, okay, yeah, you have Dante and Nicola who like cousins, weird cousin relationship here. Okay, but like me, I'd be mad if like, okay, I'd be mad if someone killed my cousin, but I don't think I'd be, like, going on this personal fucking vendetta against them. You know what I mean? That's, like, something that you're, like, your sibling or your parent or your child. That's your immediate family. Your, like, parents, siblings. That's who you go hard. Like, I will fucking cut you, bitch. You killed my fucking sister. You know what I mean? Your cousin, you're like, that's their, like, I'm going to be pissed about it. And I'm going to be back there like, yeah, you go, other cousin, for avenging your sister, right? But you wouldn't, you know what I mean? So it just seems weird if Ernesto is like Roberto's, like, uncle to be like, I'm mad you killed my nephew. I feel like that's a parent's job, but, like, unless Roberto has no parents. So I just feel like that would be, like, more to me believable. But I mean, then again, Dante and Nicola are, like, almost twin-cestin over here. Like, not really, but there's like this more brotherly bond between them than most cousins. Like, it could just be me. I don't have like that close of a family bond. Like, yes, my cousins and my aunts and uncle, like, I love them, but like, it's not the same as like my sisters and my parents. You know what I mean? Like, that's a tighter knit. So like, I don't know, Italian people might be different. So like, and this, but I don't know. Anyway, not the point. But the point being that, like, I feel like Ernesto's specifically targeting them because they were he's blaming them. Oh, sure, he might hate the mafia in general, but it's, like, specifically targeting these ones in particular because they killed whoever Roberto is to him. You know what I mean? Brother, son. I'm leaning more toward a direct relationship like that, but it could be an uncle. You know, whatever. It seems you were right, Nicola. Well, it's quite obvious he has a grudge against us. And not that I can blame him. Okay, this is where we're getting it? Is this where it's gonna come out? What do you mean? Oh! Ah, it is his dad! I told you! God damn it! All they had to do was wait 3 lines. But I'm glad I threw out my freaking, like, thought process before we got to this point. I didn't think they were gonna tell us, you know? The new governor, Ernesto De Feo, is the father of someone we once knew. Someone we once knew? Wait a minute. De Feo? Roberto De Feo. Ernesto's the father of the detective I killed, who also kidnapped me and tried to rape me, by the way. I'm just throwing this out there. So, like, your precious little snowflake son ain't fucking innocent either. I just putting it out there. And I'm pretty sure he did get inappropriate in a bad ending. Yeah, see, look at him. He's crazed. Angry. Roberto De Feo. He was a detective who had secretly murdered members of the Berlone Mafia, motivated by a personal sense of justice, and an extreme rage hard-on of hatred for Nicola. I'm just putting it out there. Roberto even went as far as drawing his gun out in public without any regards for others' safety. But, okay, my precious son. Yeah, your son was also a psychopath, dear. Just pointing that out there, Ernesto. Nicola had no choice but to put an end to Roberto's life with his own hands. Okay, and I didn't remember that, but this is absolutely why that makes sense, so okay. I'm sure you've heard of the new governor, but I wasn't sure if you had made the connection as to who he really was, so... I mean, I made a connection they were related, but I didn't know how, but it was here where I was like, it would make more sense if he was his father because of that, so... Cool. Good job, me! I mean, they make it obvious they're related, but like... I thought it'd be best not to mention it. Sorry I didn't tell you sooner. Don't worry. You're right that I didn't think much about it. Knowing that he's the detective's father is quite troubling. Is Governor DeFeo looking for revenge against Nicola for killing his son? It appears that's the case. It was no secret that Nicola was responsible for his death since it was written in the newspaper. Ernesto worked as a politician at the capital, and there's a rumor that he made a specific request to become the next governor of Puglia. I'd like to become the next billionaire of America, please. When do I get my first check? I mean, I just didn't know that that's all we had to do was ask. A request, or he broke some kneecaps? Because I'm just saying, I don't think that he should be tossing stones in his glass house. Ernesto's in vocal opposition of the Mafia. His name was known among us even before he became governor. Even if he did not lose his son, he would still have seen us as the enemy. Dante gave a heavy sigh. I mean, I feel like you could understand that, because as anyone, you'd be like, yeah, no, if I was in a position of power and some douchebag murdered my kid, I absolutely would take that fucker down. So, like, I get it. However, there's also that rich people position of power shit where you're like, I know my son kidnapped that freaking girl and tried to rape her and then, like, shot people randomly and wasn't actually upholding the law, but how dare you make him pay for his crimes? You still killed him. I mean, I get you can still be mad at Nicola for killing your son, but you have to look at what a shady son of a bitch your child was. But that's never how it is. It's, my baby was innocent. We have videos of him murdering puppies. How dare you? You faked that. Excuse me, bitch? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I guess that makes you angry. So, be like, I mean, I understand. Like, again, I can understand you being pissed at Nicola for killing your son, but what about all those other people who lost their husbands, wives, siblings, children, whatever, because of your twatty fucking child? Did you think about that? Nope. Because only you matter there, Ernesto. Again, it's a rich people of power thing, because, like, you know what I mean? Like, their children never do any wrong, despite the fact that there is plenty of evidence of his misdeeds. But precious widow Roberto would never do anything like that. You know what I mean? I was like, it's fucking douchey. Again, we're all the Mafia, so, like, I mean, we really have no stones to toss in our glass house either, but still. Like, we're over here like, I mean, yeah, I totally killed the guy, but, like, yeah, he's still a dick. I'm glad you confirmed my suspicions. Thank you for the information, Orlok. Orlok? Oh, right. He responded somewhat awkwardly. At first I thought he was just nervous, but there seemed to be something more to it. I wonder why that is. And I've been speaking ill of the Falzone recently. Are the police spreading word that we're criminals who deserve to be arrested? I mean, you are criminals, so... I'm just throwing it out there. I'm still not sure where it all started, but the rumors speak ill of your credibility in business, and that you're no longer capable of brokering deals. I feel like that might be coming from Direttore. I see. It did seem odd that our business partners were withdrawing so suddenly. That explains why they all wanted out. I'll continue my investigation on the rumors and let you know when I have new information. Grazie, Orlok. Orlok, I hope you don't mind, but are you feeling sick at all? Huh? It's just that you don't look so well. I'm fine. I haven't slept much, that's all. Really? Well, if you say so. He nodded respectfully and departed the salon. Ah, there's something else I need to ask. I'd better go after him. Nicholas stood up and went after Orlok. Dante and I were alone in the salon now. Oh. Where we start making out with Dante and then Nicola finds us and then it just becomes a threesome. You expect this shit from me, right? You're welcome. Orlok! My senses are dulled. I didn't even notice Nicola approaching until he called out to me. I'm sorry to stop you, but there's one other thing I wanted you to check. What is it? And there's a new face in town, perhaps a clergyman from the church. This should help. I took the note from his hand and nodded. And you really don't look well today. I doubt it's simply a matter of sleep. What's happened? Nothing. I'm fine, really. I responded bluntly and left the Foul Zone Manor as quickly as I could. What is happening, Orlok? What's wrong? I stopped when I was some distance away. Remembered the night I received the news. Emilio! It doesn't matter if it's a flashback! Fucking Emilio! Okay, listen. Listen. You cannot have a fucking route where Emilio doesn't make an appearance. That's just wrong, even in flashback. Alright? Because it was starting to feel weird. Maybe that's why I just got a weird, like, something is wrong here, and it's because Emilio hasn't made a fucking appearance. So here we go. It's a very serious matter, one that should be shared in person. Hey, Emilio, what did you just say? I can say it as many times as you need. Joseph von Rosberg has passed away. He was killed, to be precise. Excellency, that doesn't seem like a flashback from the first game. That seems like from this one. So is Emilio not dead? Or was that from the first game? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Emilio made an appearance. I feel better. The whole world is at peace. Dante and I were alone in the salon now. After a momentary silence, he began to speak. Nicola must be happy that you're here, and reluctant to involve you in any serious business matters that we're facing at the moment. Yes, I think you're right. I've told Nicola that I want to help, but he said things were fine and that I didn't need to do anything. But Nicola's been carrying a heavy burden on his shoulders all this time. I want to help those I care about. I can't stop wondering about what I can do. It is difficult. Relationships between men and women are complex enough on their own, but... And there's also the expectation that mafia wives remain at home and out of dangerous situations. Really? Yes. Men don't often wish to speak of their crimes to their loved ones, though in your case, things are somewhat different. Because I'm the Key Maiden? Indeed. You're already in a dangerous position given your relationship with him. And you have another role of great value. And do you see why Nicola's being so careful? Nicola cares about you too deeply to want to disrupt the peace of your life in any way. Dante's smiling at us, all adorable, because he's proud of Nicola. I still want to bear these burdens together. I understand. Your opinion is also important, and this shouldn't be decided by Nicola alone. Dante chuckled a bit and sighed. My brother? I mean, he's your cousin, but okay. My brother is really something, isn't he? It was not lost on me how Dante phrased that. Okay. I was like, did they mistype that? No, he's calling him his brother. Because that's basically the way they act. They're not, I mean, they're cousins, but they have a more brotherly relationship, the closeness, than normal cousins, you know? I always saw the two of you as siblings when I first met you. But you two are more like real brothers now. Again, that's where the twin sisters come in. I'm just kidding. Seriously, though, Nicola really does love Dante a lot. And I don't think anybody's questioning that. Ever since then, I feel like I've been able to approach him more honestly than before. Nicola will usually read my moods regardless, and perhaps he feels overprotective or concerned. I know what you mean. Nicola's always taken good care of me since we first met. He is very much like an older brother in personality. A caring person. Always has been. A natural older brother. It was fun to talk about Nicola's qualities with Dante like this. Say, Dante, I hope you and I can talk more about Nicola again sometime. Dante's like, this is what we do. Dante and I also have girl chats, but it's all just about Nicola. Gil, we talk about lots of different things. Just before Dante could answer, Nicola returned. We seem to be having fun. What did you two talk about while I was away? We talked about you. Me? Nothing bad, I hope. No, just about how much I like you. Yes, and she had a lot to say. Huh. And I missed all of it. You should tell me that sort of thing directly, not Dante. No, it would be dangerous for her to say that to you. As we enjoyed a chat together, someone else entered the salon. I was really hoping to, end this part, but we just keep keeping this scene, sort of, but not really, but, anyway. Boss, I need to speak with you a moment. Understood. Let's go to my office. Dante stood up immediately, and Nicola called out to him as if just remembering. Dante, it's not urgent, but I also have something I need to tell you. Perhaps later. Dante raised a questioning brow, but nodded without saying another word. With the two gone, only Nicola and I remained behind. Say, Nicola? What is it? I told him what was weighing on my mind. Sorry, are you alright? I feel like, are you alright? God damn it, this bitch! You alright? No concerns. Thank you! I'm sorry. Oh, you! That's literally the only thing that comes out of her mouth! The way they're writing it, it's just kind of irking me. Sorry. I tried my best to articulate my feelings. Nicola, you killed Roberto last year in order to protect me. And because of that, the Falzone... Nicola quietly sat next to me, wrapping his arms around my shoulder and pulling me close. Again, I'm apologizing for the fact that Roberto is a creepy, stalker, rapey dude. Psycho. Why is that my fault? You did nothing wrong. You were dragged into this mess. You were a victim. There's no reason for you to apologize. Although, that does make sense, because, victims do that, apologize and blame themselves when it absolutely is not their fault, but that's what makes me angry. Just in the sense, on behalf of people that are, victims, feeling like, it's my fault and I didn't. No, you didn't! No, you didn't! And, fuck the world for making victims or, people feel that they need to apologize for the behalf of, the attacker or whatever. What the fuck? Why are we apologizing for him? But I guess just in general. You shouldn't feel guilty because someone else is a dickhole. Seeing that I wasn't responding, Nicola gently squeezed my shoulder. Unless you, kicked them and then they punched you, then you should apologize for kicking them and making them punch you. But you know what I mean? We did nothing wrong in this situation. It's just sad that, this is not uncommon, you know? Spacey, I have no regrets. I will kill whoever, whenever, as often as I need to, if it means saving you. Nicola, how oddly romantic. Even if the governor has this against the Falzone family, and me in particular, I'm not repentant enough to let him do as he pleases. I want our guys out of jail as quickly as possible. I have lots of things to do, but I'll always protect this family. And of course, we'll protect you. I knew he would do whatever it took. I knew he'd protect all of us. Well, you must be tired after all of this. You should rest. I'll carry you to your room. Okay. And with that, Nicola lifted me into his arms like a bride. Oh, wait a minute, Nicola. I can... It'd be my honor, Signorina. Unable to resist, I could only hold on as he briskly carried me off to my room. How oddly romantic and sexy is that, though? I'm here for it. Is he staying with us tonight? Is he? Oh, are we going to get some sexy times? We're going to have to start that in the next part. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.